Okay. So good prediction, Boit. Good prediction. We actually do have a little switcherooski on the gods. We actually have Nullus coming in the blue this time, playing Loki.
Mm.
Matreiuss is sticking with the Loki, but we got Loki v Loki here on Savannah. Interesting. I guess the map pick maybe had something to do with that for Nullus.
You'd have to assume so, though. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, this map is so weird. There's so many different iterations of this map. It makes it really, really
Yeah.
tough to know which god is actually good here, because you can get like 4 Rhino. You can get no starting, or you're always going to have starting hunt, but it's going to be somewhere around your base some of the time. You can also get like a ton of giraffes. So in this specific situation where there's not a whole lot of hunt, it might have been better to go Odin here, just so you get that great hunt. You can push off your opponent's giraffe, take the whole map for yourself. But the Loki
So
mirror
you
is
think
what we
like the
see.
variety, well, like because there's such variety, it's maybe safer to go Odin because if there is like a little bit of hunt and you need to use great hunt on goats, or is that kind of what you're saying? The great
Yeah, I
hunt
think
lets you handle the variety?
with the exception of the 4 Rhino spawn,
Yeah.
I think that Odin is going to be out. I guess, and no, every single Savannah has got forward hunt. So, yeah, I think that you're just better off going Odin here. I'm surprised to see Nullus moving away from it. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Well,
I'm not the Norse
I don't
expert.
know, man. That's the thing. I am, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The problem, aside from hunt, the gold mine placement is that's always my concern on Savannah is the gold mine placement. Not necessarily your starting gold mine, but your gold mines outside of your
Yeah,
base.
yeah. Yeah, it's like
So
it's always going to be forward. You never. I mean, this map's got a fairly decent couple of side gold mines which you can move back and forth from if you're
Mhm,
needing to do some sneakiness. But yeah, it's
mhm.
always going to be a tough one to get that second gold mine going. You have to keep that in the back of your mind for
Yeah.
sure.
Also, having said that, even Odin can. I'm thinking of Heimdall rushes, or even not Heimdall rushes. Like that could be a problem against Forseti as well. But even so,
Hmm.
with Odin, if you do have Heimdall as well to potentially face against a Heimdall rush, you don't quite have the myth unit spawns, but still, that's what I'm thinking about when I'm playing a Norse mirror on this map, gold mines.
Yeah. Well, at least, well, one thing that Nullus has done well, to move on from the gold mines and talk a little bit about the build order, is he hadn't found his zebra, but what he's done nicely is he's split up his villages so that he's gathering with some villagers on the back two zebra and sending the rest of his villages forward to the forward giraffe, which
Nice.
is going to allow him to consistently get that food. Unlike Matreiuss, who found his giraffe super early and didn't have to do any real adaptation there, um, which does allow Matreiuss the early advantage here, but Nullus should be okay. And he's advancing later, which we can talk about a little bit. The differences in resources from advancing later do end up counting because you get an extra villager out every, say, 14 seconds. You advance later, you get an extra villager out a minute earlier, which is a minute of gather time. So Nullus goes later with what looks to be 16 villages, 15 villages, 16 villages, and
16. Yeah.
Matreiuss is 14. So that's like almost that is a Herser in terms of resources that Nullus should be in front. So Matreiuss has to get some damage done.
Well, I mean, indeed. I mean, I agree with you but I agree with you, but Nullus, since Nullus's giraffes are so far forward, I think this potentially is going to hurt. Although if Matreiuss, it doesn't seem like Matreiuss knows where the giraffes of Nullus is. He doesn't see the temple forward. He doesn't see the giraffes up there.
Yeah.
So I would be concerned about the Hersier like being classical age Hersier before I have archaic Hersier as
Mm.
as Nullus here. But it seems like it's not going to be a problem. He's just going to build up over on this side with this hunt. and no problem. He can. It's fine if Matreiuss hits a sentry tower. It's fine, even though he's getting the favor income. But still, I'd rather have that as a distraction while I build up, while I age up and get a longhouse going on my hunt.
Yeah, 100%. This is like best case scenario for Nullus here. Is he gets the next stage, he has the villagers out, the later advance. He's going to be behind population ever so slightly because he's got the longhouse coming down later. But it shouldn't end up mattering too much. He should be able to catch up.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, the longhouse is up, but I mean, he's still down on pops. It's not too bad, though. It's not too bad. 39 to 44. Not too shabby. I think he can stay alive. I like how both these guys use the spy on both of hers here.
Yeah, this is fantastic. It's 100% the best way to use your spy in any matchup where a civilization wants to go for raids. A lot of people default to using spy on, say, like a gold villager or something, so you know where the gold mine is, or a hunt villager, so you know where the hunt is. But in actuality, defending yourself is the better call, and putting your spy on the Hersa, fantastic idea.
Ooh, fantastic micro.
The garrison micro.
Sick. Ugh. I don't like that healing spring placement. I don't think healing spring makes a big difference usually, but if you have it, might as well use it well. I'm not a big fan since it's so far away from his actual military buildings. That's a weird place to put it, in my opinion.
It is a strange one. I'm not sure. Maybe it affects the farms that go around his town center as well. Something that you.
Oh yeah, true.
Maybe, I don't know. It might be fun. You might be able
Wait,
to get.
what do you Loki making farms around his town center? I don't understand.
It doesn't happen. Oh, I've been playing Loki wrong this whole time. No wonder.
Loki macro, baby. Loki macro.
We do see a nice little raid coming through from Matreiuss. Nullus is defended nicely. It does look like both players have got their Hall of Thanes through, so no advantage to come here. And I hate to say it, but this game is looking more and more like it's going into that coin flippy thing that happens with the Loki mirror, where if you get an Iron Heart spawn, you're happy. If you don't, kind of unhappy. But great snipe from Matreiuss, and he gets out.
Nice.
And he can heal that back up with the healing spring. Fantastic.
Oop. Oh, yep, he's out. Another little skirmish on the left-hand side. Little mini raid going on, a micro raid going on. At least he's trying to get something. And there's your Iron spawn if you saw it.
You hate to see it though. When it's not in the in the fight, it's like now you got a 3-speed myth unit that's taken up population. You'd have loved to have had that spawn in that fight before, but you got to take what you get.
I like this group up right here. Maybe can take it. No, decide not to take a fight there. Okay.
It's always dangerous running through your opponent's base with her, sir. If you set up any decent base, you can get yourself caught out with building placement and stuff like that. But luckily, Matreiuss hasn't really set his base up in that fashion just yet, so Nullus gets through, no worries.
You mean kind of like game one?
Well, I wasn't. Yes.
kind of like game
That's
one.
exactly what I mean.
It would have been, the shoe would have been on the other foot. However, it would have been Nullus getting stuck in Matreiuss' base in that instance.
Sure. The shoe would have been on.
It's a different story when you have Hall of Thanes, though.
True. Speedy boys go speedy.
Okay, I mean, we see the armory up for Nullus. He's not anywhere near resource-wise to actually age up, but I guess he's thinking about it.
A little raid here onto the Matreiuss dwarves. Good micro, keeping everything alive. But the Ursa are targeting down here as myth units at the moment. Nice. It's nice to pick off one though. Those myth units can just heal back up on the healing spring. I don't know what's happening here, but Matreiuss' score is 600 in front.
Whoa.
Of
resources
of Nullus. His score 700 in front.
Oh, I know. Is it because of his resources
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
bank?
it could
He's
be.
just about ready to click up.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's just like, it must be Matreiuss is just gathering more stuff.
Is that? I guess so. It's
It's the
because of
same
the
village
Einspawn,
accounts.
clearly.
Same village account. But yeah, gotta be the Ironmaiden sport.
It feels like this has been a very cautious game so far. Nobody wants to. We haven't seen any big cataclysmic fights just yet.
Yeah, I actually really like this style that I guess Matreiuss is kind of forcing the style, but it's like splitting the army up, getting as many little chip damages as you can,
Uh-huh.
and you can actually see. I think the difference here is that 40-30 favor in the bank for each player, and that's because Matreiuss has been setting the tone. He's been getting the small amounts of chip damage onto buildings. And what I
Yeah.
like about it is that he's not forcing a fight, which is playing into that coin flip thing we were talking about before. He's taking the game into his own
Yeah.
hands and finding advantages. And Nullus is definitely behind here to some degree.
I think he is. In fact, two things real quick. Broggy's coming in. Well, three things. Broggy's coming in for both players right now. You see how Nullus has to go all the way back to his main town center to heal up his hearse here? That's awkward. I mean, that means Matreiuss could jump into that base, start taking down houses, maybe take out that temple, for example. That's awkward. But
Yeah.
also, oh, okay. Both players are getting copper mail. That's what I was going to mention. Both players getting copper mail jumping into heroic age. That's typically pretty important to get, especially in a mirror matchup like this.
Yeah, the Copper Mail is probably the best upgrade in the game for a Norse War. And then maybe even Bronze Mail. You have to decide between getting Bronze Mail and getting copper weapons. But anyway, getting all three of those upgrades is really important. And look at that from Matreiuss. Gets in 4 building kills, 4 houses going down, and he just gets out. Great play from Matreiuss.
He needs to take advantage of it, though. He runs away. He's got Bronze Mail coming in. I wonder if we're going to see a big fight after Bronze Mail comes in. It's halfway there in for Matreiuss. You were just talking about it. That will be an advantage for Matreiuss.
Yeah, and he's gonna take this fight a little bit early, but both players flaming weapons. Bronze Mail coming in. Nullus is not going to realize that this is happening, and this is going to be advantage Matreiuss most likely here. But you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And the coin has been flipped. Here we go. What are we going to get? Vine spawn, mountain giant spawn, troll spawn. Take it easy, Boit. I know you love the troll spawns.
Trolls are great.
Curry. Trolls are great. That guy's gone, though. Dude, Myth Unit, I don't even know what's happening in this fight. It seems like Matreiuss is taking this fight, but
Yeah.
it's a close one. Yes, it's a close one, but he's got it. And okay,
Matreiuss just clears up.
there we go.
I mean, makes
There
perfect
we go.
sense. Like, he had Bronze Mail. He should win that fight.
That was really close, though. I mean, if you look at the actual Hersier numbers that are remaining, like there's myth units. It's more of the myth unit difference in the numbers, whereas
Yeah.
there's what, 3 additional Hersier in for Matreiuss compared to Nullus. I mean, I guess there's another guy coming out right there. I don't know if this game was necessarily over. Oh, we
Oh, he's
both
also raiding.
missed. I don't know
Yeah.
if raid. Very nice.
Yeah, the
Okay.
raid
Hit me with
onto
the
those
raid.
dwarves just says, okay, no gold for you, game over. Also, there's
Well,
a
by all
market
means,
up
like
for
Matreiuss is okay.
So he's gonna be able to
Okay.
buy. He's gonna be able to buy food if he wants to, or whatever.
Actually, big difference here. Farm's already down for Nullus, whereas Matreiuss is still on his goats. So I'm not sure how many goats that Matreiuss had compared to Nullus, but not having to spend resources in villager time, getting wood,
Yeah.
spamming the farms, blah blah blah. Big difference there. Big difference.
And it does look like Nullus missed his deer in this game, whereas I think Matreiuss ate them at some point.
Yeah, those wood choppers on the top side for Matreiuss, they took the deer. They took his deer and then swapped over to wood.
Yeah. Really clean game here from Matreiuss. He was in the driver's seat for the whole time. He did get that early game advantage having the giraffe, and he took full advantage from having that initiative from it. Is that
Well,
level?
I think Nullus. I mean, huh?
Is that leveled the series now? 1-1? Do we have game 3? Is that how
One
this
to one, we
works?
got game 3, baby. That's
Yeah.
that's how this works. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, give me just a sec. I'll back out. We'll jump into game 3.
All right.